Okay, so we're here with the Week 5 picks. Um, Not really much to talk about other than Titans. The Titans and, I think they wouldn't skip the Pittsburgh game. But I don't know if the Titans game is going to go on. Apparently, they went out and practiced against the league's permission. So I don't know if that game is going to go on. So who do they play again? Let me find that game. Oh, Buffalo. So I don't know if that game's going to get postponed. I don't know if that's going to be like, oh, we're just going to forfeit and give the win to Buffalo. I don't know what they're going to do. But we'll see what happens. But other than that, there's not really a lot here that should change. Um, uh, if Cam Newton is out for New England, I'm picking Denver, which I am picking Denver. But if he's not, I would probably have to go back and switch my pick to New England. But I just don't know when Cam is going to be back. So there's that with COVID. Um, we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's just jump in right into this. That's really major news going on. It's major the Titans game. I don't know what they're going to do with that. But Thursday night game. So tomorrow night, time of recording this, if you're watching this Wednesday, otherwise it'll be Thursday if you're watching it Thursday, or whatever if you're watching it after the game. And Chicago ended up winning somehow or something. I don't know. But I am picking Tampa Bay. They are easily the better team here. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, not hopefully. I think they are going to win, but we'll just see how it plays out. I might stream it. We'll see. I'll think about streaming that game honestly, because it's a lot better than Denver and what was it, the Jets, and then like Miami and Jacksonville, which both those games were on the not NFL Red Zone. What was it called? NFL Network or something. So you couldn't even get them on like ESPN or like a basic channel. But it sounds like from here on out they're going to be on the basic channels now, which is a good thing for me if I ever wanted to stream a Thursday night game. Obviously, Packers, they'll always have the Packers game on, being in Wisconsin, being close to Lambeau, semi-close, not super close, but being in Wisconsin, being in the Green Bay area, they are always gonna stream the games and put the games on basic channels here. So, but it's just nice to stream other games. So, I'll think about it. I really will over the next 24 hours here, if I want to stream this game or not. Next, Carolina heads to Atlanta. Dan Quinn, I mean, he should have been on the hot seat last year. Really, you could argue he could have been on the hot seat after that Super Bowl loss. That's, the greatest Super Bowl loss in the history of the Super Bowl. So I think Carolina is going to win this one. It's going to be probably a close game. But, I mean, I think sooner or later, Dan Quinn is going to get the call that he has been fired, and they're going to move on from him. I'm guessing it's going to be probably within the next month is my guess. We'll see what happens. They might wait till after the season where they go 0-16. We'll see. But I mean, it's Carolina should be the better team, even though they aren't that good of a team. They're better. Buffalo heads to Tennessee next. Again, I don't know if this game is going to happen. We'll see what happens. We'll see how the Titans or the NFL handles the Titans. But right now, obviously, the better team is Buffalo. Buffalo's probably, you could argue they're the second best, well, not the second, maybe the third best team in the AFC. You could argue the Patriots are better with Cam Newton. We'll see what happens when they face off. I think it's like a week or two. Buffalo and New England have their first match. So if Cam Newton's in that game, you could probably argue that New England is better with Cam Newton than the Buffalo. But you could also argue that Buffalo is the third best team behind the Ravens and the Chiefs in the AFC. So I mean, this is going to be pretty easy. Obviously, Titans are like probably seventh or sixth best, maybe even like 10th. No, because there's only 16 teams. They're like top 7 probably in the AFC. So we'll see what happens. Next, Raiders head to Kansas City. I expect them to play Kansas City pretty tough, just like the Chargers did. It went down to OT for the Chargers game, and they got taken to OT by a rookie QB. So I could see this going into OT too. I don't think the Raiders are better than the Chargers. I mean, I don't know if you want to call the win against New Orleans a fluke or if New Orleans just falling off a cliff. I don't know. But I think this could be a close game. I do have Kansas City pulling out in the end. But this is going to be, it's a divisional game, so this will be a pretty interesting game to watch. And if the Raiders somehow beat the Chiefs, I think that's going to have a lot of red flags up for Kansas City right now. But we'll see what happens, this Sunday. Next, Arizona heads to the Jets. I'm just going to kind of skip over this one. Arizona, it's the Jets, the worst team in the NFL. So Arizona should have this. Next, Philadelphia heads to Pittsburgh. I guess we're kind of flying through this too. I think the Pittsburgh defense is probably top 3 in the NFL right now, personally, because that front can get to you quick. It doesn't matter, that they're a little younger, little ill-experienced in the back there, the corners and whatnot. But when you have a front that can get to you, cause you to throw the ball early, or got a hand in the QB's face, so then they throw it farther ahead, or it's a late throw or whatever, that it's disruptive. So I think their defense is pretty good, and I think they should just walk all over Philadelphia. I think the Steelers are a sleeper pick for the Super Bowl right now, the way they are playing, honestly, and I could see them matching up against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. I really can. I think they're good enough where I think they can make a deep playoff run this year, now that they have healthy team back. Next, not the Raiders. The Rams head to Washington football team. Blowout. Dwayne Haskins has been benched, and he didn't even practice. He's kind of was just watching on the sideline of practice, so I don't know what happened. There's not a lot of reports out yet at the time of recording this. But he was out of practice, basically just watching today, Wednesday again. So we'll see what happens, but this should just be, the Rams game to win. I wish the Washington would put in Alex Smith. I really do. I wish he would just automatically get comeback player of the year, because again, he could have never played football again. He probably, could have never walked again. And here he is coming back to football, and they set him as a backup. He could be good. He was good for the Chiefs. He was pretty good for the Chiefs, honestly. He wasn't, probably a top 10 QB when he played, but he was still pretty good. So I don't know why you don't give him a chance. I don't know why you just kind of build around him. Honestly, I don't know why you don't. I just think he's, you put him out there. He's a mentor to Haskins. When Alex Smith down the line, a couple years down the line, isn't, showing potential anymore, but in Haskins could probably do better. But they, who was it? Is it Kyle Allen? I think is the starter right now, and then I think Alex Smith is the backup. So I don't know. I would have liked to see Alex Smith, honestly, but it is what it is. Next, Cincinnati heads to Baltimore. This is I want this to be competitive because of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is fun to watch, but this is not. They can't stack up to Baltimore. This is going to be Baltimore's game. But I'm hoping Joe Burrow somehow figures out a way to keep it close. I really hope he does. Next, Jacksonville heads to Houston. 0-4 team, just fired Bill O'Brien. Their intern head coach is an assistant head coach or whatever. Whatever that whole thing is. I'm looking for the Jags to bounce back. I hope they do. I really, really, really hope they do. We'll see what happens. But I think Texans are just going to start tanking now. Next, Miami heads San Francisco. Obviously, San Francisco still has a lot of injuries. I think they're getting a couple people back. But this should still be their game to win, unless somehow I picked San Francisco last week to beat the Eagles, and somehow the Eagles beat San Francisco. Well, okay, it was really the backups, but anyway, I did not expect San Francisco to lose to the Eagles. So if they somehow lose to Miami, you can probably knock them out of the top 20 teams. They're probably somewhere in the 25 to 30 range. Honest, well, really like 21 to 30. But if they lose to Miami, this is major red flags. Obviously, you have a couple people out for the whole year, and you're going to slowly get others that are going to slowly come back. But it's not good signs if you lose back-to-back to Philly, to Miami. If they somehow do lose, that's not good signs at all for that team. But again, I'm picking them here again. If if they somehow lose, I'm gonna be kind of shocked. Honestly, I am. I've already pretty shocked about them losing to the Eagles. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens. But my pick is San Francisco. Next, Indy heads to Cleveland. Cleveland putting up 49 points on the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Dallas Cowboys are not a good team at all. They are currently third in the NFC East right now. It's terrible. That division, the NFC least, is just terrible. You could see someone with like 7 wins, 8 wins take the division, honestly. We'll see what happens. But Indy... I don't want to call it an upset. I don't know if you really can call it an upset. I believe I kind of did last week because again the Bears are 3-0, and Indy was 2-1 or whatever. But they have a really good defense too. Disrupted Nick Foles a lot. So I think this is gonna be a good matchup. I think if you get Odell going again early like they did against Dallas, this is going to be Cleveland win. I do. I think if you get Odell going, hopefully Chubb is back. Kareem Hunt, wasn't it like, it's not David Johnson. Wasn't there, it was like some Johnson guy that was their third that was, powering through too. Like, so if they have a triple-headed running monster, they can get that going. If they can get Odell, Landry, the wide receivers. I mean, if Baker can get going and get this offense going, this should be Cleveland's game. If not, you got to rely on that defense for a win because Indy can put up points. They can. They don't put up a ton, but they put up enough where they can, hold off the win, and their defense basically holds them together late in the game. So I think this is going to be an interesting matchup. Honestly, I really do, because again, you have offense with a lot of star power, and running backs and wide receivers, and then you have a defense that is probably again top 3. So that's going to be a really interesting matchup to watch. And then even still, like the Cleveland defense and Indy offense will be kind of interesting to watch too. So this game might be a game of the week type of thing, and it might actually be a really good game. Technically, on paper, Indy is better. So I have, it's an upset technically on paper. You really can argue that it's not, but I am going to say it is again, because we don't know everything. Again, I'm doing this 4 days out from Sunday. So I mean, a lot can happen in 4 days. So we'll see what happens. Next, Giants head to Dallas. Another Dallas. I like that stadium is actually kind of fun to watch in. And they are allowing fans at, I think it's at 25% capacity. They're allowing fans. So you still get some actual crowd noise, which is nice. But this should be Dallas's bounce back game to win. They are an onside kick away from being 0-4. This team is just this is not going well. Dak had over 500 yards. I think it was 502 yards against Cleveland. A lot of that you could argue was garbage time because they were trying to come back in the fourth quarter. I don't know why you started to come back in the fourth quarter when you're down. It was like 24 or something like that. So I mean, you just can't fall 20 behind against the Giants. I mean, if you fell 20 behind against the Giants, I might have to put you as the worst team in the NFL, honestly. You might be worse than the Jets. that's kind of hard to do. But that defense sucks. Again, Dak Prescott is bailing out Mike McCarthy right now. So we'll see what happens. This should be an easy game for Dallas. Should be, a bounce back divisional rival game. But we'll see what happens. Next, Denver heads to New England. I kind of touched upon this in the beginning. I have Denver winning because right now we don't know the status of Cam Newton. And the way both QBs played for New England on Monday against the Chiefs was just atrocious. So if Cam Newton is not starting, Denver should win this game with, even though they have a bunch of pieces missing, they should still win this game. If Cam Newton is playing, this is going to be New England's game, 100%. 100% they win. Well, you get to say 99 because, not everything, it's, you say 100, it's not going to come true. So we'll see what happens if he plays or not. But right now I have Denver. Again, we're still 4 days out, so we'll see what happens. Then the Sunday night game, Minnesota heads to Seattle. Seattle just signs. Is it Damian? No. Something Harris. I don't remember. Whatever. They call him Snacks, basically. He just signed with Seattle after saying he was going to go to Seattle and then go to Green Bay, and I think he was going to go check out some other place or whatever. He reported, or not he, but it was reported that he is signing with Seattle today. It was the same day he was supposed to go work out with Green Bay. So we'll see what happens. Well, not we'll see what happens, but we'll see how good he is. I think he's like a backup right now or something like that. I don't remember. He might even be on the practice squad. I don't even know. But this should be Seattle's game to win. Vikings have one win. They're not. If they can somehow bounce back and beat Minnesota or beat Seattle, that's going to be a pretty big shocker. But we'll see what happens. This is not on Monday night, so Kirk Cousins doesn't have to be afraid of Monday nights because this is not a Monday night game. And then finally, the Chargers head to New Orleans. Now, this, at the beginning of the season, I would have said this is New Orleans all the way. This is, just basically a bye week for them. Chargers kind of suck. The way Justin Herbert has been playing, the way that New Orleans offense has been playing, without Michael Thomas, I think he might be back this week. I don't remember if there are any official reports, but he could be back this week for this game. It's, obviously a Monday night game, so he has an extra day to heal up and whatnot. But I think the Chargers are going to pull off the upset and actually win. Now, I don't have this set as an upset because of, the Chargers are pretty good with Herbert. They are pretty good. They almost beat the Bucks. And New Orleans beat the Bucks. So I think the Chargers have a really good chance. I think I don't want to say I bet money on it, but you can almost guarantee that they have a really good shot of winning this game, which is why I'm going to stick with them. They're my Monday night pick here against New Orleans, even though New Orleans is at home. I just think the way that this Chargers team has been playing, they are going to sneak into the playoffs, and if they push a deep run, no one is going to be surprised because we knew how good going into this season. First couple of weeks, we already knew how good they were. So if they somehow make it to, second or, AFC Championship rounds, I'm not going to be surprised. It might surprise some people, but I'm not going to be surprised because you can see this coming a mile away. Herbert has, again, this is his first year. He's a rookie, and he's showing so much potential with this team. So I can't wait for this. I might have to stream this game just to see how good it is. We'll see what happens, but this is looking like a really fun game to watch, and you could say this one could be game of the week too. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going to wrap it up there. it's some decent games this week. There's not a lot of shocker games. Again, that Chargers and New Orleans Chargers and Saints game looks pretty good, especially on paper. And if Michael Thomas comes back, it's going to be a really good spark for the Saints. So I think it's going to be a really good matchup. Obviously, Indy and Cleveland. Me personally, that could be a good one. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Oh, all right. Well, okay. Looks like the Bucks have a couple people out tomorrow, so we'll see. There's still my pick, but we'll see what happens. So it looks like people are getting injured already. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Like the video, share the video around. Don't forget to subscribe, and we are out of here. Peace.